Hey, how are we doing there, guys and gals? I hope you're having an awesome day today. Now, this is obviously the Kawasaki ZH2, and today we're going to explore the difference between the power modes, so the full and lower power modes, and what the launch control actually does. Does it actually help you get off the line quicker, or is it just a gimmick? Well, let's find out. Alrighty, so I'm on a quiet road-ish kind of thing. It should give me some room to play around with this stuff. Now what I'm going to do is, at the moment it's in the sport mode. I'm actually going to pop that back down to the custom rider mode that I've got, which turns off traction control. Alright, let's start her up. Right, so if we hold the up mode button and the select button at the same time, it should turn on the launch control. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do a few practice runs. I've got the traction control off full power mode. The first thing we're going to do is take a look at the launch control. So let's move over this way. Okay, here we go. So this is just a warm-up round. Now I'm not sure how much clutch I need to give it, but let's try it. See. Here we go. Woo! Okay. Now that does get you off to a pretty good start, I have to say. So I don't know if you guys saw what happened there. So basically the way our launch control works is the computer automatically manages how much power it delivers to the rear wheel, basically to give you the maximum amount of power without losing any grip, or without putting the front end up. When we get to the end of this road here, we're going to try again, but except this time I'm going to do it just with the clutch and see what the difference is, if there is any difference, and kind of go from there. Okay, right, let's stop here because I've got enough room. Okay, right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Wow, okay, the front wheel came up then. Got a little bit nervous about that. Because literally the way how it's set up currently, it's giving me all the power all at once. The computer isn't managing the power at all with this. So I'm going to do again another 0 to 60 just from a standing start. Okay, right, here we go. Warm up 0 to 60 without the launch control. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Okay. I kind of bowled it there a little bit because the front wheel came up. But hey, that was a good warm-up. I'm not sure what the 0 to 60 was there. I did upshift a little earlier, just to try and keep that front wheel down. But let's do another one, shall we? Here we go, there's no one behind me. Alright, here we go, another 0 to 60 run. Without traction, without launch control. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Again, did a little upshift there, little early upshift. That time actually I didn't use the clutch. Then I used the quick shifter. But yeah, man, this the torque on this bike is scary. I actually feel a lot more comfortable with the power on the ZZR than I do on this bad boy. Alright, but that's a warm-up right there, so let's try the traction sorry, I'm going to keep getting my my terminologies confused. Let's try the launch control and see if it's any better or worse. So let's put the bike in neutral, select and mode up. Launch control is on. Okay, let's let this car go past. Here we go. So this is launch control on, test number 1, 0 to 60. Alright, here we go. Go. That is interesting. Even though the torque didn't feel anywhere near as aggressive, the front end did stay down for longer. I'm curious what that's going to be like in post, whether or not that actually made a difference. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to try launching again, but this time with the power mode to L. So this motorcycle has two power modes, full and low, I assume. I don't know, F and L, that's the two power modes. So I'm just gonna stop here and see what the difference is between the full power mode and the low power mode. Oh, there's three power modes. Oh damn, I didn't even know that. See, look, I'm learning new things about this bike as we go here. All right, so at the moment we got the medium power mode, so this should make it a little bit easier. All right, so 0 to 60 here. Here we go. All right, 3, 2, 1. This is, oh excuse me, this is clutch only. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now I didn't give it all the gas there, to be fair, in first gear. Didn't give it all the gas. But that kind of felt like launch control. As silly as that sounds. Yeah, that felt a bit weird. Alright, I'm gonna just pull over here for a second and just adjust the power mode now to low. Alright, let's test the low settings. Here we go. Alright. Again, without launch control. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Alright, the low power mode is completely different. I actually gave that basically 100% throttle there in the low mode. And yeah, you really did feel the difference in power there. How interesting. Yeah, it's nowhere near as wild. Nowhere near as wild. How funny. Okay. Well, there you go. That's giving us something to work with. Yeah, that's giving us some data to work with. Now, I do wonder if the launch control actually works with the low power modes. I assume it does with the other power modes. I'm not sure. Well, let's have a look, shall we? Select, up. Interesting. Let's try again. No, so launch control does not work with a low power mode. I'm curious. Let's try with medium power mode. All right, let's see now. No, all right. Well, there you go. That's another interesting thing. So launch control does not work with the low power mode or the medium power mode. Just with the full power mode, which I suppose makes sense. Let me try setting it again. So full power mode. Apply. Here we go. Yeah, it works with full power mode. Well, there you go. That's something new. All right, let's pull off here. Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm going to work it all out in post, what the times were, and I'll display the timestamps during the runs, but the low power mode definitely felt a lot slower than either the medium power mode and the full power mode. The full power mode is kind of mad all the way through the range. The medium power mode kind of goes mad towards the mid to top end of the rev range, and the full power, the low power mode, you literally there's no pull whatsoever. No pull. You know, it's a massive difference. I'm gonna have to have a look at the specs of the different power modes to see what exactly it limits them to, but I thought it was only 2 power modes, the full and the low, as it was in the ZZR. But no, this bike is more sophisticated. It has 3 different power modes. Very, very interesting. So next thing I'm going to do is just do some general riding using both the medium power mode and the low power mode. You guys have already seen what it's like with the full power mode, but I'll show you anyway what it's like. So at the moment I've got the full power mode on, traction control off. Whoa. And that is about 30% throttle, 25% throttle. Yeah. So I'm just worried about the bugs on the lens. Yeah, there's a lot of power in the full power mode. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But it's the mode that I prefer, just because you get the most throttle response. For me, it's the most predictable. But let's pull in here. Let's go into the medium power mode, which is basically more like a road mode, I suppose. And I bet you that the road mode by default is probably the medium power mode, I suspect. Alright, here we go. Now on medium power mode. So it still has power at the mid-range, but I wouldn't say it's anywhere near as crazy. That's the full power mode. The medium power mode is certainly, you know, manageable even at 50 to 75% throttle. Yeah, very, very interesting. I wouldn't have thought the power modes actually would have made that much difference, because on the ZZR it doesn't feel any different whatsoever. I don't know if that's I don't know what that is, but yeah, it feels very, very similar, the power modes between the 2 modes. But no, excuse me, on the ZZR between those 2 power modes, but on here you really feel the difference. It's so interesting to me. I mean, that really was not something I was expecting at all. What we'll do when we get a sec is move over into the low power mode, and yeah, we'll see what that's like. I'm curious. But yeah, they've definitely done a lot of electronic tuning, I think, with this bike, which obviously they wouldn't have been able to do on the ZZR because it has a wire throttle. Okay, here we go. Low power mode, traction control off. Alright, let's see what this does. Okay, so you still get a similar feeling down low when you're pulling off nice and slow, but already, even though I'm only giving it about 10% throttle, you can feel that there's nowhere near as much bite as there is in the other power modes, the higher power modes. Yeah, the throttle is far more manageable, and I wouldn't say more predictable. I don't know. Not more predictable, I don't think, but certainly a lot less going on here. Yeah, that is nothing. That's me pinning the throttle. There's hardly anything there on that low power mode. Yeah, that really tames this bike up. Well, there you go, guys. I mean, if you're worried about the mad power of the ZH2, put it on the low power mode and ride it like that. It's really tame. Seriously tame. Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, it's absolutely mad, the difference there. I'm actually astonished. I wasn't expecting, well, one, I wasn't expecting there to be 3 power modes instead of the the old-fashioned 2 power modes again. How times have changed. But yeah, how incredibly different each of those modes are. That's the thing. The only experience I had in the past of power modes was on the ZZR, and yeah, like I said, I don't feel much difference there, but on this, incredibly different. Full power mode in first gear is absolutely crazy. I mean, that's why I have a habit of upshifting early in first gear, because it just feels insane. And I'm being completely serious here. It feels completely different to the ZZR. I know I've said that before, and obviously the ZZR is the closest comparison that I have to this bike. The torque feels so much harsher on this rather than the more linear torque of the ZZR. I know I've joked in the past that the ZZR's power band is like the whole rev range, but with this bike it actually is the whole thing. I'm going to put it back into the medium power mode. Why not? There we go. I'm curious now what the sport mode actually is settings wise. I assume it's the full power mode, but I do wonder what the traction control mode is, because obviously I've got it turned off at the moment, and yeah, the medium power mode has definitely got more bite to it. But again, for me, this is manageable. The medium power mode kind of feels like the ZZR does in the full power mode, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to take the ZZR out again on a ride and confirm that theory, but I don't know, just from memory, that's kind of how it feels. Yeah, it's a far smoother power delivery in the medium mode. Far smoother. You know, it's kind of really easy in the lower range, goes a little bit mad in the mid-range, and then, you know, kind of gradually increases the madness level. But yeah, the full power mode just seems to want to bite your face off. It's a shame it won't let me change the power mode whilst I'm on the move. But I'm going to put it back into that full power mode, and yeah, I don't know if you can actually see the difference on camera, but it is stark. It's a massive difference. Alright, full power mode, baby. I mean, even just pulling off. Oh, oh God. Yeah. Wow. That is such a stark difference. I'm not even giving it that much throttle. Literally, if you keep it at about 5% throttle, it's manageable, but anything above that, it's just crazy. I mean, in 6th gear, it doesn't have much bite to it at all, as you'd expect. It's just those lower gears, man. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and even 4th. It's just crazy. Yeah, I mean, this whole video is just an experiment, really, to see really what the difference is, because I've never ever had a need to change the power modes. I've never ever had a need to have a go with launch control or anything like that, so I just wanted to test it out and see whether or not it actually does what it says on the tin, because I wasn't sure myself. I mean, let's get to let's do 3rd. Here we go. All right, ready? Oh man, as soon as you hit that mid-range, it launches. Absolutely launches you. Yeah, that's I'm sure this isn't coming across on camera whatsoever. Sorry about wiping the lens so much, but I'm sure this isn't coming across on camera as much as I'm feeling it, but it is a stark difference between all 3 power modes. So actually, no, this isn't a beginner bike. But if you have been on a 600 Super Sport, for example, and you whack yourself on something like this, you put it in the low to medium power modes, and you'll actually find it relatively straightforward to ride. And then yeah, you only put it in the full power mode when you want to come as close to death as possible, I suppose. But yeah, that is absolutely crazy. Anyway, guys and gals, I hope you've enjoyed that. This interesting look into the power features of the ZH2, and you can definitely tell that these features are super advanced now, compared to the likes of motorcycles that are only a few years older than this. Yeah, it's a massively different experience, and I'm incredibly surprised. You know, just at how manageable the different power modes can be. Yeah, I mean, hey, do you guys have motorcycles with power modes? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what your experience has been with power modes, what rider modes you use, and what have you. Do you use traction control? Nah, each to their own. I like traction control being off personally, but that might change after the maddening experience that I've just had. I don't have anything more to say in this video, guys and gals, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe as usual if you want to support the channel, support what we do if you enjoy the content. And yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on these different power modes. You know, just that mid-range, just, oh wow, it punches you in the stomach every time. It's insane. And I know that a lot of you subscribers are, you know, ZZR owners and what have you, but test ride one of these, you get a completely different experience, you know, a more crazy experience, even though it's a smaller engine. Produces less horsepower and less torque, but it certainly doesn't feel like that. But yeah, anyway, guys and girls, like I said, let me know what your thoughts are. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Woohoo!